1 2 1 2 1. Turn me up. Turn me up.
The champ is here.
It's your boy, Freeman Israel, the People's Champ, back with another YouTube live stream. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, you Negroes. Shout out to my trolls. Hope everybody's doing well today. March 9th, 2026, baby. Beautiful day outside. Oh, man. Beautiful day. Yeah, we're going to talk a little ish today. Unscheduled ish. So listen. On your way in the door, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Smash the bell. Share it to your socials. Hit the Cash App. Link is in the description. $ send to the number 2 V, the letter V. Send me a couple dollars on the Pure Leaf Tea Fund. Make sure you check in with the chat. If you are a content creator, hit the like button. Drop your link. You're getting twisted. Drop your link so we can spread that love. Check you out. Make sure you check in with the chat. Mods will be popping in and out. Salute. Let them know where you're at. Warriors over here. Welcome to the People's Podcast. I am your host, Viva in Israel. You can call me V. I am the Dark Knight, the Black MAGA, the Day Walker. The ladies call me the Cookie Monster. I am the Shogun of Charlotte, Pumpkin Escobar, Mr. Big Balls himself. I am the Heisenberg of this ish. Because I give y'all that pure, that raw, uncut. No impurities. Welcome to the People's Podcast. You don't want to be here. Don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. Shout out to Love Doors. Interesting day today, but not surprising. Not surprising. I always forget to X out of that while I'm up here. So I am playing with this new tripod, but I'm meaning to charge it. And trying to turn on that auto tracking. They need to make the button better. There you go. Yeah, I don't think I charged it at all. I think it's dead. Let's see. Yeah, because it came right on right away. Let's check the audio real quick because I did a whole stream the other night. When I went back to review it, no audio. Because I did all. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All right, let's charge that auto tracking up a little bit. See what we get. Oh man, the gynocracy is real, y'all. It's a real thing. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Misandry and the gynocracy. Trying to get my thoughts together. Like I said, it was totally unplanned, totally unscripted. So let me tell y'all about my day. I've been exhausted because I haven't been sleeping well because of what I've been dealing with the termites and shit. So anyway, neither here nor there. Just giving y'all that filler. So I'm in dialysis today, and I went straight to sleep. I was tired. One of the few places I've been able to rest. So I thought. And one black girl is training the other black girl. I probably shouldn't have told y'all that much. One woman is training the other. I don't want to call them girls. And for all intents and purposes, they're both new to the clinic. They're not the one that's doing the training. She's not a regular at the clinic as far as the technicians go, but I've seen her a few times. I've never had her servicing me. Whatever. So the girl that she was training, the young lady, she did a good job sticking me this morning. No problems. I went right to sleep after that. Had my headphones on, nodded out. And the first thing happens, the nurse practitioner, I guess she was going to let me sleep, but she grabbed my ankle. And because of the peripheral artery disease and because of the neuropathy, my feet, my legs are very sensitive. She grabbed me hard. And it made me snatch a little bit. And I said something to her. And she said, "Oh, man, I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to grab you that hard. No problem." She's like, "I'll talk to you later." All right, cool. I go back to sleep. Now, the girl, the tech, she snatched my arm and squoze it at the same time. She was trying to adjust my needles or something. Normally, that does not bother me. I've been doing dialysis 7 years. I keep my arm straight. Even when they touching me, moving the needles, whatever. It doesn't affect me. Anybody knows me knows I sleep hard. And I normally sleep right through that. But when she grabbed my arm or yanked it and she squoze it at the same time, so hard, it woke me up out of my sleep and made me instinctively snatch away. So y'all know me. I had something to say about it. Well, of course, they go right into explanation mode. No apology. Hey, I'm sorry, my bad. Nothing like that. Well, I was just trying to do this and I was just trying to do that. And here go the girl that's training her. Well, I seen what she did. It wasn't even all of that. How you gonna tell me by looking at somebody how hard they squeezed? So now you're being stupid already. And I'm getting pissed. Which reminds me, I need to take my medicine. Because I forgot to take my medicine this morning. I'll take that in a minute. So anyway, so y'all know I start going on. So the trainer says what she says, and like, you know how certain groups of people like to do the mic drop and walk off, like I'm done with you attitude. So as she was walking off, I told her, I shouted at her, I'm not gonna be lectured by nobody. So she at this point is a good 50 feet away from me. Maybe more, but conservatively 50 feet. She decides to turn her big ass around. She big, but she pretty as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's pretty. Nice shape and everything, but she's just big. Y'all know I ain't got no problem with no big girls. But we gonna call her what she is. Both of these women are extremely large women. And by large, I mean every bit of 250 pounds, both of them. Both of them. About maybe 5'7", 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", 250 at least. But they both are very shapely women. Neither one of them are ugly at all. One of them is just very pretty. But anyway, I know y'all like, V, why are you telling me that? It matters. Just listen. So she decides to turn her big ass around and walk back 50 feet to me to check me, boo. Y'all know I am the wrong one for that shit. Those of you who've been watching my channel a long time or know me personally know I'm not that dude. But because of the gynocracy, because of misandry, they're very comfortable with that behavior. Very comfortable. And it's not even a new thing. It's a generational thing because contrary to popular beliefs, the Black community has never been a patriarch. It's always been a matriarch from the beginning of this country, all through slavery up until now. It's the Black community is a matriarch. And Black women, if you haven't already figured that out, they are comfortable checking a dude, specifically a Black man. They feel not only comfortable doing it, they felt obligated to do. She could have just kept walking. She didn't have to come back to check me some more. Oh no, girl, you so lucky I'm hooked up to these needles. I do not play that. Oh, well, sounds weird. But so many of you Black men, generally, generationally, have allowed that. And that's why the younger women are so comfortable doing it. They saw their mamas and aunties do it. They saw their grandmas and their great aunties do it. Now we getting into the great grandmas. the great grandkids, rather, they see this on a daily basis. So my blood pressure's through the roof, by the way, at this point. Um, it was coming down. I think I was at like 185 before this started. And then I jumped up to 230. But that goes to show you the matriarchy is in the gynocracy. That thinking overrides everything. You're supposed to be able to provide me health care. But in order to do that, you have to check me first. Never mind that I'm hitting stroke levels and you might be pushing me into a stroke. They just want to keep pushing the buttons. So now, a few minutes later, the manager, she's a white girl. I knew that was going to happen. I'll call him back. So she wants to, instead of her asking me, what's going on, Mr. Johnson? Are you okay? Or whatever, however you want to break into it, she immediately, first of all, she walked past me and went to my machine. And I'm looking at her like, okay, like, what's up? Since you over here. So then she jumps in with the, I'm going to check him too. And I'm trying to explain to her the differences between white women and black women. So once I mentioned black women, she's completely shut down, didn't want to hear nothing. I had to say, she wouldn't even let me finish my sentences. Basically, you're going to shut up and take this was her attitude. No, the fuck I'm not. I don't give a fuck if you white, black, or Asian. Because she tried to shut it down with, well, I don't do the racial. It ain't racism when a black man is talking about his experience with black women. That's not racism, ma'am. Nice try. See, you see that even up there in Minnesota with the bobbleheads. That's how they were able to shut down the whistleblowers. All they had to do was scream racism, and that shut down the investigations into the fraud. And people started looking the other way because they dismissed what you're saying at that point. Because the people were saying, yeah, 90% of them are Somali. That's not racism. That's stating a fact. Same thing I was doing. This is ma'am, I'm 50 years old. This is my experience of a lifetime with black women. And that's, she wouldn't let it come out. So she just kept interrupting me and cutting me off, you know. And then, but they were trying to do this, ma'am. I don't care what they were trying to do. I'm telling you what they actually did, what I experienced. I'm like, ask anybody in here. Do I move my arm? Even another girl came over here, a white girl, to help out with me. She like, nah, he don't move his arm. And he don't normally wake up. So that means something happened that out of the ordinary that made me react the way I'm reacting. But you can't, they like to dismiss your experience. You see? Signed up going off on her ass too, because she kept doing it. I'm like, you can stop saying what you're saying. I heard you say it 5 times. That's that dinning thing I tell y'all about that the Bible talks about with the tinkling of ankles. It's an annoying, repetitive sound. And that's what, when y'all women do that to men, that's all we're hearing is that annoying, repetitive sound. Bitch, I didn't say this, but I'm saying now. Bitch, I heard you the first 5 times you said what you're saying. Now you want me to keep listening to you repeat yourself, but you won't even allow me to get one sentence completely out without you interjecting and shaking your head and turning up your nose. I'm blind, but I ain't that blind. So then she goes into this, what really set me off. Well, we're having a bad day in here today. I don't care, is what I told her. That ain't got, well, you got to be professional. No, I don't. You have to be professional. I do not. And right now, this is not professional. Just because you're talking in a soft voice doesn't make it professional. Your behavior is unprofessional. And I even said to her in the beginning that y'all need customer service training. I've said this before about nurses. Y'all need some training in customer service because y'all don't know how to defuse a situation. What y'all want to do is y'all want to try to check a man and humble a man and sign language a man to death. And that's what was going on. Shame, insult, guilt need to be right. I got it all. Tried to shame me for reacting the way I was reacting, like when I snatched my arm, like I was overreacting. And then you're going to insult me with the, oh, I'm going to tell you what we were doing. Bitch, I know what you was doing. I've been doing it 7 years. I know y'all got to adjust my arm. That's the insult. Like I'm stupid. This thing I do 3 days a week for 7 years. Right. Guilt, that was the racism talk. In a professional, you're being unprofessional and racist, and I guess sexism would have came out next. See, they try all of those, that coded language, right? A lot of y'all are familiar with Jim Crow. The white women started doing that Jane Crow shit, and black women picked up on a lot of that from them. That language, that Jane Crow language. Right? So she, we're having a bad day in here. I don't care. She repeated that like 3 or 4 times. So much so, I already done told her to stop doing that. I'm pissed off. My blood pressure's 230, and you're still doing it. This is what I said. I don't give a fuck what happened to y'all. That is not my concern. Caroline, take him off. I'm like, are you serious right now? You've never heard the word fuck before? You're clutching your pearls over a word they say on TV. You ain't never thrown your TV out the window. But you're so butthurt because I use the word fuck after y'all been pushing my buttons for 20 minutes now. That's about how long this whole episode lasts, about 20 minutes. What did you think was going to happen? You keep poking the bear. Instead of allowing me to cool off and then coming over and allowing me to get my point of view out, she came over already with a preconceived notion. And she came over immediately. Well, not immediately, but within a couple of minutes of the girls walking off. Because then she tried to lie. Oh, they were on their way to lunch. No, they weren't. Because one of them was still standing. So how was they both on the way to lunch? She got pissed off and walked off. That's what happened. And left her trainee standing there having to deal with me, and I'm pissed off. Right. Great training. Great training. Where's what do they call it in nursing and doctors? Bedside manner. Where's your bedside manner? They don't teach that shit. I remember I was in the hospital. I had to cuss a black girl out up in the hospital. She was sticking me too hard. And then she started blaming on my veins. Ma'am, I get stuck three 6 times a week minimum for 7 years. I do not have a problem with anybody finding my veins. And I had been in the hospital like 2 weeks at that point. I'm like, ain't nobody else had a problem finding my veins on either arm. What are you talking about? It's you. But that goes back to that show I did on Genesis 3:13 with Eve. When God was speaking to Eve for the first time in Genesis 3:13, what have you done, woman? Paraphrasing. And she immediately pointed the finger at Satan. Immediately. I told y'all that's their behavior. That's part of the gynocracy and misandry. Because see, Eve, she didn't have no respect for Adam. That's why she skipped right over Adam, skipped over Christ. This might be a little heavy for y'all. Skipped over the 12 tribes because they were there in the garden too, and went straight to God. That's what she wanted to do. That's why she ate the metaphorical fruit. She wanted to know more than Adam. And to know more than Adam, meaning she had to be equal to God. She wanted to know more than Adam and Christ and everybody else. She wanted to be on the same level as God, the Most High. That was the whole reason she did what she did. And before that time, or and after, God never spoke to Eve. So the very first time you're speaking to the Most High, the Creator, the first thing you do is blame somebody else for your bullshit. And genetically, that's been passed down from Eve to today. And this is why the scriptures command you to come to examine yourself. And people struggle with that. They always want to blame somebody else. But I did, but God, and all of that talk, right? It's always somebody else's fault. It ain't their fault. It's because something else happened. So again, when she couldn't do the manager, when she couldn't do she didn't grab you hard talk, she immediately switched it because that's what they do. She switched the argument to they were having a bad day. I don't care. That ain't my concern. And I tried to give her the analogy because she was stunned. You know, they're horrified when you check them. They want to be able to check you and critique you at any time, all times, for anything. But when you start checking them, they get horrified because they're not used to doing it. Their daddies didn't let them do it if they had a daddy. Their uncles, the men they grew up with, their husbands and boyfriends. They claim they want patriarchy, right? When you listen to what women say they want, what they're describing is patriarchy. But then at the same time, they verbalize how much they hate the patriarchy and are offended by it, right? I don't know why I keep playing with these damn. They made the tips of my hoodie metal, which I like. I wish Nike would do that. This is a champion hoodie. And I just like touching them. I don't know what it is. I've been sitting here playing with both of them like a little damn kid, y'all. Y'all like, what is he doing with his fingers? Let me stop. I can't, man. I want to touch him again. But anyway, women want the soft girl area. They want to be able to stay at home and not work. They want to go on dates and trips and all of the benefits that come from a patriarch. But they want to be able to turn it on and off when they want it. So when they want to be boss bitches, they want to turn it off, switch it off. But when they get tired, then they want to turn it back on. Am I lying here? I want y'all to honestly think about what I just said. Am I lying? What happened to, even though this thing they never had, black women anyway, never had soft girl. They never was stay at home mom. And when I say never, I'm talking about the vast majority of black women in the history of this country have never been able to stay at home. Now, are there exceptions? Of course. I could think of a couple exceptions, but the vast majority of black women have always worked. Now, they may not have gone to work, but they were doing work in the house. Fish plates, seamstress, babysitting, all kind of little side hustles, housekeeping. It was always some kind of job to supplement the husband's income. But they didn't just stay at home eating bonbons. Because once the kids got to school age, the woman was just at home. And it didn't take all day to wash clothes. It didn't take all day to straighten up the house. No, it didn't take all of that. That wasn't an 8-hour job. And anybody telling you it was, they're lying. Even if you had a big giant house, if you had the husband that could afford a mansion, he also had helpers, butlers, and maids also. And you probably had a nanny helping with the kids too. So miss me with that. And even that environment would be like in the 70s and 80s. You go back into the 60s and earlier, no, that wasn't happening. And she may not have been working full time either, but she was working somewhere, some kind of way. I assure you. Are there exceptions? Sure. I had a woman try to tell me how her mama was the exception, but at the same time, her mama was running daddy's business and she did all the bookkeeping and accounting. There you go. You're proving my point. She was at home doing accounting. Hello. But I went off. So anyway, and even the white girl that came over and helped, she shut the fuck up because I had to go off on her last year. And I went off on her because I told her to take me off the machine. And it took her like 45 minutes to start doing it. But you know, she want to give me the health risks. And again, I'm familiar with dialysis. sometimes that, you cramp really bad and you need to get taken off the machine. And those cramps hurt. I'm in pain. Take me off. And I understand they can't always stop what they're in the middle of doing, but 45 minutes was ridiculous. And she was purposely dragging her feet because she was going to determine what was best for me against my will. So she got cussed out. So I ain't had no issues with her since then. But like I said to her, like, you ain't giving me that same attitude that they gave me or that Tammy gave me. Like, because why? Because I'll cuss you out. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you it's inevitable. If you behave with me like that, you ladies, you can't jump in a lion's cage and get offended when a lion roars at you. He ain't even bit you yet. He's just roaring at you. But they're not used to men speaking like men. And they used to be able to do that misandrous nonsense and gynocratic bull crap. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to tell me. Didn't Messi just talk about this stuff today? I'm going to tell you, you ain't going to tell me. She just said that on her live the other day. So it ain't just men seeing it. Other women are seeing it too. But they comfortable with these punk ass simp dudes that they used to dealing with. And that's some of y'all daddies. I'm sorry. But let's be real. Now, I can't say my daddy would did that because I ain't know my daddy like that well enough to see him interact with a woman. Not really. But my stepfather, definitely. He's definitely one of them. He let my daughters and my mother get away with anything. And that's why my sisters think they could do that same kind of crap to me and they get all butthurt when I cuss them the fuck out. And the reason why, the lack of relationship that I have with my sisters. Well, I can't even have a conversation because they're just so ridiculous. I ain't your punk ass daddy. And your daddy ain't my daddy. He my stepfather. But don't get it twisted. He ain't my dad. But what they like to do is sick somebody on you after they do this. So that's something my sisters do a lot. When they want to sick their father on me, like so he could check me, boo. After they couldn't do it, he can't do it either. He could do it less than y'all, because I'm inclined to whoop his ass, and he know it. But that's what they do. The gynocrats and with that misandrous behavior, they always want to sick somebody on you. So that's what happened with the manager when the girl couldn't handle me and couldn't check me, boo. Here come the little white liberal woman want to come to the rescue and check me. But they'll use anybody. They'll use another woman. Definitely will use a man, a gay guy. They always got to try to sick somebody on you. But you such a badass. Why you can't handle your own shit? Because you know you're wrong. But I'm like, she wants to tell me about right. They got rights and all of this, but I can't allow you to be in here with because you're violating other patients' rights and something. She said, "What about my rights? What about my right to free speech, which is actually in the Constitution, the first fucking amendment? What about that?" See, again, they like to pick and choose and play that game when they want to use certain things. That's them turning on and off the switch. What about my right to speak? You won't even allow me to finish the sentence. It wasn't like I'm rambling on and you trying to stop me. No, I couldn't get one sentence out. And that's usually how it happens. Remember, I had the same problem with Red when she was here. And she was dead ass wrong. Talking shit about something she don't know nothing about. All you gotta do is shut the fuck up and hear what's being said. And not only am I saying it, I'm telling you why you're wrong. That was about the common law marriage. Never been a thing in North Carolina. So you're wrong. And you're not from North Carolina. I've been in North Carolina 30 years. I think I know a little something about North Carolina. Whereas you don't. And then she went into Red was what really set me off because they love shame, insult, guilt need to be right. So now they want to, she was trying to insult me when the other two didn't work. With what Trump is sending, that's why Trump is sending out new birth certificates. The hell are you talking about? Trump is the president. Presidents have no control over what individual states do with birth certificates. That's issued by the state. Now he can ask the governors to do that, but they can choose whether to cooperate or not. And the way these Democrat governors are, they will not cooperate with such a request. Not only you sound stupid, it's never been said. Oh, I'll show you. Go ahead. Show me the video. It should be very easy to find. Go on YouTube, search Trump and birth certificates. The only thing you ever gonna get to come up with them two search words is when he was talking shit about Obama before he became president, about Obama's fake birth certificate, right? That's when he started all that fake talk. What do you don't even watch politics. It's always them. The people who don't watch politics, now all of a sudden, now that Trump is in office, they're political scientists. And I'm not saying I claim to be. I told y'all my first 2 years of college, I was poli-sci was my major. And I've been studying politics my whole life. But I wouldn't consider myself to be a political scientist. I know a little something about a little something. But I mean, like, you know how absurd it is to say that? Again, I'm already pissed off. I'm already heated. And then she kept trying to bass it up her voice and overtalk me. Oh, no, that's not going to work. So I got up because we was sitting next to each other. I got up and walked over there and sat down in the kitchen. Because I'm getting to the point where I'm about to smack the shit out of her. That's how absurd, disrespectful she was being. Now, I'm not advocating for domestic violence. I'm just saying, I understand how some women get their asses whooped because you don't know when to stop. Just keep going. Cross that shut the fuck up line, and everybody got one. They do it with each other, and they definitely do it with me. There is no line. I can say whatever I want to say, however I want to say it, at any time, in front of anybody, anywhere. That's what they believe. And that's why they get their asses whooped. And my thought is that those women who like that, they like that. They like that attention. They like getting their ass whooped. I've met too many women I know in my life that I know like getting their ass whooped or like getting hit. And maybe for some of y'all it's hard to believe. Because women don't typically share that with each other. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced it. I told y'all, I don't know, but I told this story a long time ago. I was in high school. Was it high school? middle school, actually. And me and my boy, we were big horror movie fans. So anytime a new horror movie would come out, we had to be there on opening day. So this particular day was a Freddy Krueger movie. Don't ask me which one. And so we met these girls while we was in the movie theater. I was in Irvington, New Jersey, at a movie theater called the Castle Twin. And at the Castle, you could see 4 movies for $4. And they be new releases. So me and my boy would go early and we would stay there all day watching whatever movies we wanted to see. And of course, if you're there that long, you're going to eat popcorn, you're going to buy drinks and candy, and we did. Everybody did. That was how they got you. I don't know. I wonder if the castle is still open. It was a rundown movie theater. It wasn't like the AMC or a new one. It was a rundown, beat up, good movie theater, but everybody went. And the popcorn, it was good. And the drinks. They had this Kool-Aid that was banging. So anyway, the little fountain thing that bubbles up, and they always had lemonade and Kool-Aid. And I would get a mix. So anyway, we met them girls. So they invited us back to their house after we left. So we went, we hanging out. Now, dude's hooked up with the friend. I'm with the main chick. Her mama was home, right? But the mama was giving us our space. So me and the girl sitting in the kitchen. And her mama walked out of the kitchen. And out of nowhere, she smacked the dog shit out of me. For no reason, just smacked me. And it caught me like, the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, what the fuck? She smacked me again. I tried to take her head off. And I ain't no weak dude back then. I mean, keep in mind, I was an athlete. I had the 8-pack, muscles, all of that. Okay? So I smacked her with all of my strength. It should have took her head off. All she did was smile. I'm like, there's some weird shit right here. So after I smacked her, she chilled out. Her mom came back in there too. Her mom was like in and out of the kitchen, cooking or something. So then when her mom got ready to go, well, her mom walked out the second time, she tried to hit me again, but I blocked it. Like, she ain't saying nothing. Even after I smacked her, nothing. I'm like, this bitch crazy. So I got up and went in the living room where my boy and the other girl was at. I was like, yo, Deuce. Gave him the motion. All right, yo, we got to go. Yeah, your mom told us we had to be at the store. His mom was the area supervisor for McDonald's. Yeah, we got to go unload that truck, yo. The mom told us to be there at a certain time. We get down the street. We walking down the street. Dude said, what happened? I thought y'all was good. And I tell Deuce the story. Dude was like, man, you crazy. I'm like, dog, for real. Like, that shit just happened. I can't believe you didn't hear the slaps. I know I slapped her hard enough where he could have heard it in the other room. He was like, oh, man, it's all good. I really wasn't feeling that other chick anyway. She was all right. I'm like, all right. But some women, my point is, you got women who like that. We was in middle school. She was already like that in middle school. So you could just imagine what happened to her later in life, how she was behaving. You got women that I got other stories, but that's just one. I ran into that before. Those kind of women that like that abuse and you know, smack me around a little bit. I mean, what's the Asian woman that Coach plays all the time? I like to be smacked. I like to be whooped. I like to be choked. You got women that's like that for real, and not just in sex. They like that all the time, and they'll mouth off and they'll start arguments and confrontations to get the man to react. Them. They'll push his buttons purposely. I was checking to see if I had any comments. Hold on. Let me adjust real quick. Let me trying to see. No, surprisingly, I ain't got no comments. I thought Almanaz would have did her signature. Hey, y'all. But she ain't here, obviously. Okay, cool. It's all right. It's all good. It is kind of early, so she may not. I know she ain't thinking I went on this early. Hold on, me trying to turn this tripod on, the tracking on. Hold on. It ain't coming on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Wait a minute. All right. So it's flashing. Let me hit it one more time. Make it stop flashing. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get right, y'all. Hold on. Because I think when it's flashing, it's the opposite of the other one. The other one doesn't do it like that. There we go. There we go. So when it's solid, it's supposed to be following me. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit. Still need to play with this. But so anyway, the gynocracy is real. But they, like I said, they want the benefits of patriarchy. Everything they describe is patriarchy. Think about what I'm saying. Because if they wanted the matriarchy, they would be paying for the dates. They would be paying for everything. Right? But when it comes time to paying, that's when they want to hit the switch and go back to patriarchy. Right? That was Red's problem. She want to be under my quote unquote patriarchy, right? When it suited her. She want her doors open, car doors open and closed. You know, she want the benefits. She don't want to work, but then want to be masculine when it comes time to shut the fuck up. Can't have it both ways. And this is why the Zoomers, they've watched their older brothers, their fathers, their grandfathers, and they're like, we don't want no parts of these women. That's what's happening. So, piece of taco shell was left. Let me talk. I thought I saw something on my head. Is that great? Wait a minute. Let me do it again closer. Let's see. Maybe it's just the way the light is hitting me. Yeah, I think it is. I know I got a little bald spot up here. I'm just gonna keep cutting it low and low and low. I don't care. So anyway, but that's what they do. Hit the switch when it's convenient for them. But she was here trying to overtalk me. And when I'm trying to talk, they want you to shut up and listen to everything they say. And then when it's your time to talk, oh, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't want to go back and forth with you. It ain't no back and forth. That's a conversation. You said your point, I'll say my point. But they don't want your point. They don't want to hear your side, your perspective. They just want to shut you down. And that's what the white girl was. She just wanted to shut me down. Because I used the example of a restaurant. I'm like, no, what you're doing is unprofessional. It's just like if I were at a restaurant having a problem with my food and me and the server fall out, and now you come back over here to solve the problem, quote unquote. But then you go into, well, the cook is having a bad day. I don't give a fuck. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm the customer. I'm paying for a service. But that's what in these clinics and with nurses in general, they don't look at it like, because you're not paying cash, your insurance is paying, they look at it like they're doing you a favor. No, my insurance is paying you. But they have horrible bedside manner today. Now, I have met, in fairness, some great nurses, some great ones, black too, great ones. So I'm not going to make it like, oh, he hate black women. No, I love black women. I've never been in a relationship with a white woman, ever. So that don't work with me either. Like I can see if I was a black guy who only dates white women or primarily, I'm not that dude. I've been rocking with black women my whole life. I was with one nearly 30 years, married 20. But you look at, I think it's either Japan or China. I think it's Japan that was having relationship issues between men and women. Somebody correct me if I'm not sure. I think it's Japan. But they had to change their laws. So that way, basically, when you get a divorce, you have to leave. You can't with is what you leave with. I believe it's Japan, and that's the way it should be. I mean, if you can't have it both ways. Women wanted to be able to get divorced for any reason at any time. Okay. So if that's what you're going to do, leave with what you came in with. You're making a choice to leave. So therefore, you need to take your finances into consideration. That a man owes me, first of all, he took care of you for 20 years. And then you leave him for nothing, and he's obligated to pay you for past work that you already been paid for. That makes no sense. And see the silent generation, which is what a lot of black men get their ideology from. That's what they want, what their grandfathers and great grandfathers had. And grandpa and great grandpa didn't have that problem. Remember, no fault divorce kicked in 1970. Hell, my grandparents have been married 20 years at that point. Damn near. So you have to, and that's why men in today are walking away, because it's nothing but disadvantages. You give women with, oh, I want love. I want a man to be honest. I want a man to be faithful. A man to do all of those things, financially support you, contribute, whatever. And a man does those things, and what happens? She can still leave for nothing at all, and take half his shit in certain states. LeBron about to find out. Savannah getting tired of playing his game. His game was the old school relationship. We gonna raise these kids while I make the money and all of that, blah, blah, blah. LeBron is a GOAT. Now, this ain't a Jordan versus LeBron conversation. He is a GOAT. Whether you put Jordan above him or not the point. If LeBron, a billionaire, is going through the same thing a regular dude is going through, Savannah ain't never worked no way, ain't never had to work. Her kids and grandkids will never have to work. So what's the problem? Hell, he ain't even up under her ass because he traveling 40 games a year. Right? She got nannies. She ain't taking care of kids. Them kids is grown. So what is she doing all day? Going to get working out, going to get her nails done, her hair done. What is her life like? Think about it. She ain't never had no career. But at the same time, during this whole time, 20-some years LeBron has been playing, she ain't had to do shit. But he's been paying for her, so she don't. And getting the best of everything. So why does he owe her anything? If she decides to leave, that's her choice. That's what's going on in Japan. And some states here have gone to 50-50 automatic. Like that's where they start the argument at 50-50. Is it Tennessee? It's one of them states, I think. Whatever. Wisconsin or Tennessee is like that. And a lot of states are going to end up following suit. They're going to have no choice because the birth rate is so low. You need men and women to get together and make families. It's not sustainable. And men are not going to budge. We're at the advantage when how many shows have y'all heard me talk about just basic survival? They can't survive without us. However, we can survive without them to the end of our lives. I give them like 30 to 60 days tops. If all men just disappeared, or hell, if men just took off of work for a week, this country would crash. It would crash. Expand it out to the world, let all men just take off a work for 1 week, the world economy would crash. Civilization would break down. Now, if women took off, everything would keep going. Same sexes, this is reality. Again, we talk about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Everything is ran by them. So, and there are a few others that I would put in there. Trucking, transportation. I will put transportation in it. Because men do like 98% of that shit. And if the trucks stop, you're done. If the cargo ships stop, you're done. I'm sure there is, but I've never even heard of a female captain driving a cargo ship. I'm sure there's one or two in history that's done it. but not enough to keep the products flowing. And then at the same time, who gonna load the trucks? Who gonna load the ship? Load the rail cars? But because we've civilized the world to such an extent that women are so comfortable, they don't even, it's almost invisible. The men who do these things are invisible. They don't even see them. They don't know what they do, how hard their job is, nothing. The ranchers, it's like 99% men. But, and this is not me being sexist, this is just having an honest conversation. Because again, you need water every 3 days. And you need food every 30 days. So start with the water. It's men turning on the water treatment plants every day. They're running them 24 hours a day. Anywhere you got water. That's men doing that. Are there women that probably work at the treatment plant too? Sure there are. Is it enough of them where they could run it and get it, keep it going, maintain it after 3 days? Not gonna happen. You got generations of men who've been doing a certain job. Coal miners. They're a coal miner. Their daddy was a coal miner. Their uncle, their great granddaddy, maybe beyond that. They just coal miners in their blood. Truck drivers are that way, mechanics. Right? For the most part, trash men that work and collect trash. I guarantee if you ask him, it was another man in his life that did it too. That's not a job where I can't even remember if I've ever seen like a job posting for a garbage truck, trash collecting guy. You don't see that. And the older you get, the less men there are. So that switches the advantage to the men again. And men ain't asking for much. Men just want what women are supposed to do instinctively. Mothers, wives. Today's men ain't even asking a woman to do everything that my grandfather had got from my grandmother's generation. My grandmother did everything. My grandfather went to work and came home. He did little things out in the yard. And most of that was just so he would stay out of my grandmother's way. But what did he do? They went to work. They had a regular job. They weren't six-figure men. They were just regular dudes. So in today's world, you can't even be a regular guy with a regular job. Women want you to be Superman, a porn star, a psychologist, a therapist. Men today are expected to wear all kind of hats. And on top of that, even if you do all of that, you still got to put up with their bullshit. I used Red. Red came here, didn't have to do a damn thing. And even the first week, just like I promised y'all, I was going to let her rest. I cooked every night, handed her plate, picked up her plate. Gabby was coming by here doing the dishes the next day. So Red didn't have nothing to do but the 3 things I asked her to do. And it's the same thing I've been saying on here for years now. What do men want? Peace, cooperation, good head. That's it. That's the only peace, cooperation, good head. She couldn't do it. She only lasted less than 2 weeks. Like, wait a minute. You ain't got to buy no groceries. You ain't got to go work. You ain't got to take care of no kids. You ain't even got to get up to fix your own plate. The food is taken care of. Everything is taken care of. You got everything you need. Plus the extra. That was the liquor, the weed, things that I don't do. And you're getting all of them benefits, but 3 things you couldn't do. And you won't shut the fuck up when you're wrong. Jumping in the conversation. She started that conversation. She jumped in it with no knowledge, just making up shit. And that's insulting. And when I'm talking, she started doing that. Okay, you ain't gonna listen to me. I'm gonna let the white man come explain to you. You're gonna get the fuck up out of here today. See, that was the point where before I make the phone call, I'm sorry. And that would have shut everything down. She'd probably still be here. But they can't do it. Need to be right. Even when they're wrong, dead ass wrong. That need to be right. That's why your daughter didn't want you. Her daughter didn't want her living with her no more. Because I'm sure, I mean, and this is kind of what Tasty Cakes accused me of. She didn't want me to have leverage over her. I'm like, baby, I've always had leverage over you and your life got better. Like, but I never threw it up in her face. No, nothing, you know. But Red, I had to throw it in her face because she just was so obnoxious and would not stop. But they want love, they want this, they want all of the benefits of patriarchy without the patriarchy. Because the matriarchy, which is the opposite for those of you who ain't keeping up, that means they got to do the work. And they don't want to do the work. I got in a conversation with some woman recently about this, and well, if I'm wrong, is what I said to her. Why women who can work any job, they want to work, not doing it. I've never, she claims she has. I call bullshit on it. That need to be right, but I've never seen a garbage truck completely operated by women. Never seen it. Even in today's world, where the machine dumps the, I remember the old school garbage trucks where the man had to hop off. It was always like 2 guys on the back hanging on, and they had to hop off and dump the trash. No, they got the new garbage trucks today where it's a machine that lifts up the trash and dumps it. Only time the guys got to get off is if there's something the machine can't pick up, something heavy, you know. So how do you explain that? Women can do any job they want. They equal to men, right? Show me. Show me the example of the spike in jobs that men once dominated in that they're not dominating in now. No, they want to do office jobs, nursing, customer service, same as they always have. Education has not changed that. That's why you see people with degrees working in Walmart as cashier. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. I'm still playing with this. The light went off, so it must not be charged enough. Yeah. It ain't even coming back on. That's the light. Well, I ain't gonna get it going, and so plug my phone in for that to get cut off. See, reality is it will check you. You can make any feminist argument, gynocratic argument, womanist behavior, position. Show me the evidence. So that's what men have started doing. That's what COVID did, forced us into create this black manosphere. And men have been bringing the data, have been bringing the proof. If what you're saying is true, the the proof, the data wouldn't show the opposite of what you're saying. And that's where they lose the argument. And then from there, the sign language kicks in because they can't humble down and say, damn, you're right. Few of you can. Reasonable women can. But for the vast majority of them, they can't do it, white or black. They can't do it. Rah, 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 rah. That's what she was doing. Oh, okay. You want to be a child. So I'm going to treat you like a child. Take your ass outside in the cold, in the snow, and think about your life. This is how women get to be 50 years old with no relationship history because they're uncooperative. And cooperation is you got to do something. I ain't talking about being agreeable. I'm talking about cooperating. You got to do something. And they don't want to do nothing. They want to lay on their backs and fuck for 20 years, all through their 20s and 30s, and then they hit 40 and then they born again, they born again virgins again. And men aren't playing that game. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go over here to the Junco, like Coach said. If I'm gonna spend some money, I'm gonna get directly what I want. So I'm gonna buy it outright and send the ass home. That's what men are choosing to do. And trust me, buying coochie ain't as expensive as y'all think it is. I'll tell y'all about that chick that I had met downtown. What was her name? I ain't talked to her in a while either. Catherine. She was homeless and moved down here from West Virginia, and they put her in the apartment. But she ain't had no job. So I'm like, how you paying your rent? She's like, I sell pussy. She just came out and said it. I'm like, whoa, wow, okay. I got questions. So basically, her rate, she wasn't ugly. She wasn't cute. She was big. She was a big girl. But that ain't got nothing to do with it. I seen women of all sizes and shapes sell pussy. So what she was doing was basically $20 for head, $40 for pussy. That's what she was doing. That was her start off point. She paid her rent with it. She bought her groceries with it. Yeah. She wasn't looking for no job. Like, this is my job. I like being able to fuck and smoke weed all day, is what she said. I'm like, dang. I'm like, damn. And she was honest with me. She told me straight up. I'm like, damn, we was downtown about to get on the train one day, and she was telling me this story. So the whole train ride, I think I rode the train from uptown to right after Walmart, because you can't get off at Walmart. You gotta get off a stop either before or after. So I got off at the stop after Walmart. So I was on the train a good little bit with him. And then she had to, what did she get off at? Because she had to go somewhere or catch another bus. I can't remember what she was doing because she said she lived off of I guess that would be Eastway, but not too far from the plaza. I mean, that's damn near the east side. I mean, it's kind of like right on that borderline of east west, what she was describing to me. Because I used to go to a Landmark Diner. The street I would go to Landmark Diner was like right there and on the corner where she was talking about. I guess it's apartments over there. I can't remember. I'm sure there is. So I don't know where she was going. I don't think no bus runs down W.T. Harris that way, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know. She was going somewhere though, over there on the university area. But yeah, I mean that's the thing though. You got women out here that's doing that. And they're choosing to do that. That's their life. And she wasn't like shame or disappointed, and she was comfortable with what she was doing. Like, I'm great. Because she gave me a guy, the guy who helped her, she gave me somebody's number. Um, I had the number in my phone after I tried to punch it in later. But yeah, the gynocracy is real, man. But see, women they want to do all the critiquing in today's world. And this is why men used to slap the shit out of them. You always had this problem, but that was the course of action. Because they act like kids. And could you imagine? I've seen people who don't discipline their kids, how their kids behave. I know my aunt was telling me about her a grandson. It was a stepson's son. So I guess that's a grandson. Right? So anyway, her husband did. So anyway, she was like, yeah, he wouldn't get out the car. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, he sat in the car because he didn't want to be here. I'm like, are you shitting me? I wish one of my kids in South Carolina, I wish one of my kids in the summertime would have tried to play that bullshit with me. I'd have snatched his little ass out that car and drug him down that dirt road next to the property. And then his brother was telling me, yeah, man, you won't believe this story. I was over my brother's house. I'm like, oh, okay. And he like, yeah, no, his son, my brother went to go to the store and got him a Slurpee. But when he came back, he had the wrong color straw. I'm like, eh? Nah, 7-Eleven got the blue and green straw. No, the red and green. So he got the red one and the boy wanted the green one or whatever. My cousin went back out. We drove all the way back to 7-Eleven to get him the right straw. Are you shitting me? I'd simply say, hey, my bad. Go ahead and drink it. Because by the time I get back, that shit gonna be melted. But that's what happens. And kids will take advantage of it. It's that they'll throw tantrums, and that's what these women are doing. They throwing tantrums like little kids when they don't get their way. Like logic, there's no logic or professionalism, as this shit kept saying to me, and rights. I'm like, what about my right to free speech? You keep interrupting my speech. And you're raising your voice. That's why I'm raising my voice, because you keep interrupting. But that's that shame, insult, guilt. You know, that's that part of it. You're speaking too loud. Red tried to do that when she wanted to come back, and it's just your voice, and I'm not used to that. I don't give a fuck. Get used to it. When another adult is saying something to you, and if you're scared, you don't buck back against the person. If you're truly, what you're saying is you were scared, then you shouldn't be bucking at the person that's scaring you. That's not what you should do. And that's the bullshit. You weren't scared. She done lived with me before. She done heard my voice before for years. She ain't just meet me. No, you just don't like nobody telling you nothing. You don't like being critiqued. They don't like instruction, constructive criticism. And even some of you men that you've gotten that behavior from your moms. You seen your mother behaving that way. A lot of y'all didn't even have your daddy, so you got it directly from your mother and only from your mothers, where you don't listen. Can't nobody talk to you. Somebody get ready to put hands on you. And I don't like getting into that space. Like I told y'all, before she got here, I had only raised my, I said before, I never did. No, I raised my voice one time. That was a holiday that time when I kicked her out, but same behavior. You can't come into a man's house and run him. But they think at any time they should be allowed to check you, even when they're wrong. Not me. And men like me are choosing our peace. We'd rather have peace than pussy. Because we can get pussy anytime. May have to pay for it, may not. But even if men have to pay for it, they're choosing to pay for it. I figured I'd just explain my experience today, and maybe somebody finds it beneficial for your own behavior. Now, let me quickly. You got men that try to, with that patriarchy crap, black men I'm speaking of, try to dominate women. We've never been in the patriarchy. That's never going to work. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about dominating women. I'm talking about just decent behavior. And they can't do it. That's what I'm talking about. Today was so unnecessary, but they were having a bad day, and I'm supposed to understand it. I don't give a fuck what day you have. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Supposedly, somebody walked out. Why do I need to know that? Why do I have that information? Because somebody told me. I talked to what? 4 women. One of them, 5 actually. One of them was an Indian girl, but she never says nothing. But 5 women, out of them 5 women, 4 rather, the 4 women, they made it a point to tell me multiple times that they was having a bad day. I don't care. I'm the customer. Now, if it were reversed, y'all wouldn't let men get away with that. Y'all don't give a shit what day we have. Especially if you paying for something. Unbelievable. But that brings us to the end. That's all I got. I ain't got no comments. So I'm gonna hop up off of here. I gave y'all an extra show today because I know I've been slack. Monday's not my day. It's supposed to be tomorrow. So I got shows on deck, but this was one that I decided to give to y'all. I'm not gonna promise that I'll be back on later. I may be. I don't know. It depends on what comes to mind. If not, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. On the way out the door, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, share to your socials, hit the Cash App, $ send to V. Link is in the description. And stay tuned.
It's your boy.